Hey guys, welcome to Primal Wrestling. I'm Mark and this is Jamie.
Hello there.
We're going to be giving out predictions for Fastlane 2017 on Sunday, so we're just going to get straight into it. So first up is Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax. What do you think is going to happen here, Jamie?
Um, Logic surely dictates that it's going to be Nia Jax. I think they're building her. I don't know how you feel, but it feels like they're building her as this like monster heel that can't be beaten.
Yeah,
So surely, I think there'll be some like dubious circumstances. I think like it might be like a count out victory or something. But I feel like it's
okay.
got to be Nia Jax way they're building her.
Yeah, I'm going for exactly the same basically. I think, like you say, they're building her as this kind of monster heel in the same way they did, I think, Beth Phoenix a few years ago, and
Yeah,
we're
and then
probably going to
Kelly.
do. Sorry.
They built Beth Phoenix as a monster heel, and then Kelly was the one that took her streak.
Yeah, although she's
So
being re-signed, isn't she? I think Kelly
I
Kelly. So
know she's coming back for WrestleMania 33. It's like, why? Like, I don't get me wrong. I like Kelly Kelly. I like the expose stuff, but
me too.
like she was okay in the ring. It just seems like there's better wrestlers you could bring back for
Yeah,
for SmackDown if that's what they're going to do with her.
yeah. It'd be interesting to see what they do. Hopefully, they put her in the ring with Nia Jax and she gets obliterated
Oh,
in the first
can
one.
you imagine? Can you imagine the night, the Raw after WrestleMania? Like she comes out to this huge pop, and then Nia Jax comes out and just kills her.
Yeah,
Like legitimately, just like power bombs her through a
yeah.
table.
I love
Samoa
I love that the fact as well that the first thing you thought of when I said Kelly Kelly was the expose sections, which is what she's known for. Like,
Exactly, because it was great. It was ECW. It was like the last little great bit of ECW before it went utter dog shit, and Kelly Kelly was the.
yeah,
So I was going to say to blame for that, but no, she was. Kelly Kelly saved ECW for a little while, and then she just broke Beth Phoenix's his streak, and it's like,
yeah.
cheers, Kelly Kelly, you bitch.
No, it's mental. So we're both going for Nia Jax with that.
Yeah, definitely Nia Jax.
I think Sasha Banks has been a bit. She's got a bit lost recently, hasn't she? After all the kind of Charlotte Flair stuff and that, and the Hell in a Cell,
Yeah,
she's kind of just gone off the radar a bit and gone back
it
down, I
just
suppose.
seems really weird that they say she was champion, and then like she's now like basically nothing more than Bayley's version of Dana Brooke. Like
Yeah,
they've
exactly.
just like she's just dropped. I know she was injured and stuff, and I don't know if how legitimate that injury was, and I think they're trying to protect her, maybe trying to save her for Mania, but it just seems like they've she's lost her way, and they don't really know what to do with her anymore
Yeah,
now that
agreed.
Bayley's a champ.
Agreed. So next up, we've got Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Enzo Amore and Cass. Now, I will put it out there straight away. I'm a big fan of Enzo Amore. I think he's class. So
But not Cass. Is that you hating
uh,
on Cass?
Cass is growing on me. I've gone back through. Actually, watched yesterday some on YouTube like the highlights of Enzo and Cass, and I actually quite enjoyed it. I spent way too long looking at it.
Let me guess, it's like 8 minutes of Enzo and then like 2 minutes of
Yeah,
Cass at
yeah,
the end,
yeah,
like slapping his thigh.
yeah, exactly. But no, I really enjoy him, and I quite like to see him as champions. I think. Although Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, they've not had it long, have they? The
And
titles.
I think they need it. I'm with you. I think Enzo and Cass should have a run with the titles before they break up eventually. Because I don't know how you feel, but surely like Cass is going to turn on Enzo soon because
Do you
I I,
reckon?
I think they're going to do it. I think or because you can't have Enzo turn on Cass because
Yeah,
like if Enzo just hit Cass like once, he's not going to do anything. Whereas like you could see like Cass getting frustrated and he just like kills Enzo, and you've kind of got like a really good monster heel again in Cass, I think, and
yeah,
Enzo can go and do his own thing and have a nice little run with like the US title or something. But I think at the minute, I think I think the club, I think they need it
yeah,
after all the bad that they've had thrown on them, like the doctors
yeah. Maybe.
and the New Day stuff. I think they need to be built up as legitimate, like we've used the term so much already, but monsters. They need to be seen as these like guys that cannot be beaten. And I think I think they're
Yeah,
going to retain.
I think as well. Although I love Enzo and Cass, I think they're better at chasing the title because of the promos they can
Yeah,
cut and whatnot. Whereas having the titles, I think they may get, I don't know what the word is, a bit bland with their
yeah.
characters.
They'll have nothing to do. It's like the New Day. Like after a certain point with the New Day, it was like, oh, all right, okay, where do we go with the New Day now? I think they're
Yeah,
better at chasing the titles than.
Cool. So you're going to go for Luke Gallows and Karl Anderson.
Yes.
I think this is, unfortunately, I'm going to go for the same, but even though I'd love to see Enzo and Cass win it just for kind of enjoyment factor. But can you imagine how crazy Enzo would go if he won the title?
He would explode. Like, he would do that little jig that he do that.
Yeah.
He would do that so much that he'd die. I think that's like the only way I can describe it. He'd die. He would.
I feel like sometimes as well, his eyes, like he gets so excited that his eyes are just going to pop.
I am a certified G, and I'm on the fire still, and bang, his eyes are gone.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think if they're going to do the title change, I think that they at Mania. I think Enzo and Cass deserve it because I think Mania is looking like they need a big feel good moment at this moment in time, and I think that maybe Enzo and Cass are the ones to get it at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I think you're right. It could be kind of the setup to road to WrestleMania, essentially, for these two to have a final blowout at WrestleMania and see where it goes. Cool.
Yeah. I just one more point really quick, and we'll throw in that maybe Cesaro and Sheamus get involved in some way.
Yeah. See, another tag team I really like. I think.
Yeah. They're great together.
Yeah, I love the way they've built that dynamic as well. Of like, kind of, you can almost sense they want to be friends, but they hate each other. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's essentially what every friendship group has. Like, you have a best friend, but you hate them at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it works really well. So
I think there's great length in Cesaro and Sheamus, and I think they need something. And yeah, maybe if they get involved and cost Enzo and Cass the win, maybe, or like they get Enzo and Cass disqualified, it kind of sets up a nice triple threat at Mania, maybe.
Yeah.
If you've got people doing something and not having them in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Yeah, just random people.
Yeah.
So then next up, we've got the 205 Live Neville versus Jack Gallagher. This is a weird match for me, I think. Obviously, the WWE love Jack Gallagher because they're promoting him quite a bit. He's been on Raw a couple of times and stuff. But then Neville is just a great cruiserweight champion to have at the moment. So for me, I can't see anything other than another Neville win to kind of prolong that championship.
Totally agree. I think Neville should have it for at least a year. I think just not only for himself, but for like the sake of the cruiserweight division, I think you just need to build this division around Neville, and he should never ever lose the title because he is amazing.
So where does this, obviously, if that happens, we both obviously saying that Neville's going to win. Where does that put Jack Gallagher? Because obviously, like I say, the WWE obviously are fond of him, but putting him in this match where he's potentially going to lose, it's going to lose him some traction, surely.
Good question. Very good question.
I don't know the answer. That's the thing.
I don't know. Maybe they'd go for some sort of shenanigans victory where they get another cruiserweight involved. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe like I don't know. God, there's like about 50,000 cruiserweights on the roster at the minute, and I can't even think. Like you just just get someone involved. Maybe it kind of protects Gallagher, and you can still make Neville look strong, but I don't know. I don't know if there is a cruiserweight that can do that. Maybe Mustafa Ali. He kind of had Daivari. Sorry.
Yeah.
Daivari. He had Jack Gallagher did a little feud with Daivari. Maybe Daivari comes out and attacks Gallagher.
Yeah.
It makes Neville look strong because he's like safe, and Gallagher comes out looking like a great babyface because he's been attacked and he hasn't had his rightful chance at the championship because he is a gentleman, damn it. Or they're just going to do the craziest thing in the world and have Gallagher win it and carry on hot potato in this championship, which I think is the wrong thing to do.
Yeah. So are you saying Neville's going to win, or do you think Jack Gallagher might pinch it?
I hope he doesn't, but not. Okay. Let me pose you a question. Where do you see the cruiserweights at WrestleMania? If either way, what are they doing with the cruiserweights at WrestleMania? How are they getting on the card?
You know what? I think this is the answer to the whole question about the cruiserweight division. Is that it's a bit directionless at the moment. Like, I think they've tried to put it in a direction with Neville, which is great because before that, like you're saying, it was just hot potato and around, but yeah, I don't know where it goes from here. If Neville wins, then what feud does that set up? Other than if someone does a run in and helps Jack.
Exactly. And if Neville wins again, you've got 3 weeks to build a feud for WrestleMania.
Exactly.
So
yeah, unless they're going to debut someone, but I wouldn't know who.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think it's just aimless at the minute, and I can't. Even if they put like my one like theory for WrestleMania was they get the ladder match, but
yeah,
because you can get some really like cool high spots out of it. But again, it's like you're building a match in a division round purely on spots and no real storytelling. So it just seems like they just need to. I don't know. They need to rethink it. I think they stick it with Neville and then go back to the drawing board and see where they can go after WrestleMania. I think from there.
Yeah. No, I think you've made a key point there, which is that they obviously want to push 205 Live, and it is good to watch. Cruiserweight's great to watch, but they just have no direction with storylines or anything. It's not been built up, and I think that has been a criticism that I've read online, and that they're just not building anything with it. They're trying to push it, but they're not got anything behind it to push it, if that makes sense. Like any storylines or anything for us to engage in and kind of be interested in. So I think on this card, it just feels a bit of a throwaway match, really, and I can't imagine it'll be too long. Maybe it'll be a squash match with.
Oh, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. But yeah, again, just to back up the point again, it just feels like they just really oversaturated the division. Like they should have had like maybe 6 guys to start with, and then started implementing like this now, like having people come into the roster. But they started with like 9, 10 guys, and then they've started to increase that again now. So yeah. I think they just need to take a step back, maybe even drop a few guys down to NXT, keep them off TV for a while, and then bring them up when they're ready and they've got more of a direction to take the cruiserweights in, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. So we're both going to go for... It's quite boring, but we're both going to go for Neville.
Yeah, it's quite a long-winded way to just say Neville. So Neville.
Neville. Cool. And then next up, Sami Zayn versus Samoa Joe. I'll let you go on this first.
Thanks. I mean, if Seth Rollins isn't going to make Mania, then I would like to see Zayn go. I don't know, because Triple H is going to be one. This is a really diverted side note from this match for a sec, but I think Triple H is gonna go. He's gonna want to wrestle at WrestleMania, and I think is Sami Zayn the guy to do that. Sami Zayn against Triple H, but that means obviously he's got to beat Joe, and I think if you're building Joe as a heel, as a monster, you kind of got to have Joe win. So this is really hard to decide. I think my head says Joe. I think it's got to be Joe. I think to carry on this whole thing of he is the destroyer and all this jazz. I think I'm going with Joe. I'm keeping this one simple. Simple. Sorry. Yeah, Joe, what about yourself?
I'm exactly the same. I think like the way they've introduced Joe into the scene, they've made him so dominant, and I think obviously before this match, Sami Zayn's probably going to come out first, and Joe's going to attack him and just obliterate him before the match. And I can only see it going one way, and I think that's Samoa Joe because of the way they've introduced him so far. And it may be an indication if Samoa Joe wins, if Rollins is going to be ready for WrestleMania or not, because he'll be the one to come kind of save the day essentially with Triple H and Samoa Joe. But Sami Zayn, I think like he obviously had that bit with Braun Strowman where he was like overcoming the odds, and they really built that up. And then it feels like if he's going to have any success in this, they're just going to replay that kind of storyline with a different person in it. So for me, like you say, head-wise, I think Samoa Joe, this is clear-cut, I think. But it'd be interesting to see. I think the more interesting angle is if Sami Zayn wins and where they take it with that. But I think it's Samoa Joe all the way. I don't think WWE would jeopardise what they've built with him in a few short weeks so far.
And that's the thing, even if it's, like you said there, to go, if they did go the way of Joe attacks Zayn before the match, it's a no contest, and then they have the rematch of WrestleMania, it's the same thing, because they're not going to have Joe lose 4 or 5 matches in. Like I see him like 6 months to a year undefeated. So it just kind of seems like I know it's a bit of a it was like a terrible thing to happen to Rollins, and I feel so bad for him. They kind of have lost direction with that whole feud now, and I don't think they really know where they're going with it. So, yeah, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I think Joe has to win this to keep any sort of credibility to the storyline. I think Joe.
Definitely. Cool. And then, gosh, a stat card, isn't it? Up next, we've got Bayley versus Charlotte Flair. How are you going?
Oh my God. I think it's going to be Charlotte.
I think it's going to be Charlotte too. I think she's obviously got the pay-per-view streak, and I think it would be pointless to ruin it on kind of a second-rate pay-per-view. So I think she'll... Obviously, there's a lot of momentum with Bayley at the moment. The crowd are really into her. So I think Charlotte will win the title at Fastlane, and then they'll have their rematch at WrestleMania, and they've got a few weeks to build up Bayley even more, and potentially Charlotte to lose at WrestleMania. To end the streak, Undertaker style.
Like the streak is over. Woo!
Yeah, but probably a lot less people will care about it than the Undertaker one.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Charlotte's streak needs to end because I think it's damaging the division.
Yeah.
As much as I loved the whole hot potato with Charlotte and Sasha, I thought that was great. It does kind of feel like now it's like, okay, like Charlotte is going to win because they're so behind her. I think they need to just like let it go, and I think Mania is the way to do it. There is rumours. I don't know if you've heard this. There was rumours that it was going to be a fatal 4-way at Mania, like right. Sasha, Nia, Bayley, and Charlotte. And again, you can do that. You can implement that in the way that yes, Charlotte wins here, and if they do the 4-way at Mania, you can still protect Charlotte by having Sasha or having Bayley pin Sasha, and then you've got like a feud there. So yeah, I think Charlotte's winning this. Sorry, we keep going off track and forward planning. We're booking Mania here as we go along. Sorry, it's mainly my fault, but yeah, I think Charlotte wins here.
I think it's interesting that obviously because we are leading up to WrestleMania, that a lot of the matches on this card are going to be indicative of what happens going forward towards WrestleMania. So although some look clear cut, there are ones that you think, well, actually, if so and so wins, it may take an interesting turn towards WrestleMania. But with WWE's track record, I think they're probably going to play it a bit safe and go the way everyone thinks. So, so we're both going for Charlotte Flair there, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. We're not very combative with our predictions.
I know, really not. Well, but hopefully, have we got 2 left? Hopefully, the next 2 we'll have different opinions, which I think we're gonna. So
okay. So Roman versus Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman. Right, before we get started, right, I hated Strowman this time last year, and I've got to give props to him. We don't get a chance to talk about wrestling as we spoke about earlier on, but I've never got a chance to give props to Strowman because he has improved so much, and I'm genuinely happy that WWE have created another star really organically. Like he's not been over pushed. Yeah. He's been built right, and I'm just so happy for Strowman. And so do you want to go for your predictions? Because I think I've got quite an out there theory about what I think is going to happen here. So I'm hoping you haven't got the same. So if you want to go first.
So there's 2 facets to this. I think, like you say, Braun has come on so much, and he's quite popular in the WWE universe at the moment. So
he was like coming out of Royal Rumble. He was like the biggest face in the company after he attacked Ray. He's riding a huge wave of momentum. Yeah.
So I think like it would be great for him to win because to win over Roman especially, I think it would do wonders for him and build him even more. However, as I've just alluded to with the WWE, and we all know their love-in fest for Roman Reigns, I think I just find that really awkward every time he does it.
I know. I hate that. That's worse. That's the worst one. It's like, Vince, this is for you.
Yeah, exactly. I can't believe they were backstage and he was like, I'm going to do this. Do you think it works? And everyone's like, go for it.
I love it. It's so masculine. I love it. Keep doing it.
Anyway, I digress. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think like the way WWE is and the way they are with Roman, I potentially see Roman winning this. And maybe Roman winning and Braun going mental afterwards and just annihilating him just to build Roman more. They're trying to put him face, obviously, but the crowd don't agree with that. Hence the boos every time he comes out. But yeah, I think for me, they'll let Roman win this. I don't know what you think.
Oh, I'm glad. This is where we are going to differ.
Okay.
This is where we are going to differ. And this is, as I said, this is a way out there conspiracy.
Yeah.
I think that they have to. I think they're going to try and protect Braun and Roman here.
Okay.
And if you're aware of the rumors, no, let me paint you a picture. Let me do some booking because I'm a smart ass. Let me do some booking here. So Braun's been all over Roman the whole match. I'm not going to skip over this really quickly, but Braun is like all over Roman. He's like destroying him, and then, as we all know, he gets one of them in, hits him with a spear. Ooh, hits him with another spear just to put the exclamation point home.
Can I just say something really quickly?
Go on.
I have a theory of the way you're going to go with this, but I'll wait till the end.
Yeah, I think you know where this is going. Roman pins Braun. 1, 2, dong. Oh shit. Out comes the Undertaker. Chokeslams Roman, tombstones him. Obviously, because he cost him his spot at the Royal Rumble, he eliminated him. That seems like the way they're going for Mania, so I think that is the way I think it's going to happen. I think Undertaker interferes. It protects both guys because Braun hasn't got the L, and Roman looks strong because he's been attacked by the Undertaker. So yeah, I think that is the way they're going with this, and I don't see there being a clear winner. I think I'm going for Undertaker interferes.
Good point.
Was that what you thought I was going to
say? Yeah. It suddenly clicked as you were talking about it, and I think that was a bit naivety from me. I was looking at the match too linear. Yeah, I think if they want to book Roman Undertaker for Mania, there's got to be some trepidation involved in it, and it's potentially going to come in this match, or potentially Raw the next night.
I think it's definitely within the two. I think because if that's the way they're going, plus it only gives again they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot because it's only going to give them like 3 weeks to book for Mania. So I think it has to happen sooner rather than later. You can't have like a 2-week build for what potentially could be the Undertaker's last match, I think.
Final match on the card, the championship, Kevin Owens versus Goldberg. Do you want to start? Or you start. I started last time.
Okay, thanks. I want there to be shenanigans. I think there should be a run-in from Chris Jericho or Lesnar, but I think if they're going to do that with Undertaker, then I think Goldberg's winning it clean. I think Goldberg's going into Mania as the champion.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because they're obviously going to want to book Kevin Owens, Jericho for Mania as well.
Yeah.
So like you say, and I love the word shenanigans, one of my favourite words. I'm going to use that forward anytime there's any weird things happening in WWE. Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, I think like the best way to do that is obviously for Jericho to cost Owens the title. But then, like you say, if Undertaker's just done that 20 minutes before, it's a bit overload. I don't think Lesnar will interfere, but I do think Goldberg will win the title. However it happens, purely because it'll be a big event at WrestleMania, Goldberg, Lesnar for the title. I think, if Goldberg destroys Kevin Owens, that's going to build him up even more. Yeah. Because the angle they're doing it at the moment is Lesnar's got to kind of scale this unobtainable mountain to get back vindication, essentially. So I think they're definitely going to make Goldberg, whatever way they do it, they're going to make Goldberg look strong in this. Yeah. Doesn't mean I agree with it. I'm not keen on kind of putting a title on a part-timer, essentially, but for a short period up till Mania, I can live with it.
And then putting it, but then again, you put a title on a part-timer to then put a title on another part-timer after Mania, because I think it's pretty clear that Brock's gonna beat Goldberg at Mania and get vindication and get his win back. But again, it seems weird. Like people like billing it like, if like, let's go forward. We're probably going to talk about this going thing, but no, I say we'll leave it. We'll save it for another podcast because otherwise it's going to go on a massive tangent. But yeah, I think it's going to be Jericho Owens at Mania. So I think, and we haven't seen Jericho on TV for like 2-3 weeks now.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think he's going to be on the go. No, he wasn't on the go home roll. Fastlane's this Sunday, obviously.
Yeah.
So, like, for him to just show up and cost Owens, I think that makes more sense, and I think that works. Yeah, it just that seems like it works.
It fits in with Kevin Owens beating him down the last couple of times and stuff and whatnot. So, I think if anyone's going to get involved, like you said, it's going to be Jericho.
And then you've got a decent feud there with the US title on the line at WrestleMania. Then you can have Owens transition into that title.
Yeah,
I think that works, and everyone's kind of happy because it's definitely, I think, 100%. They're not having Goldberg lose on Fastlane. Like,
it's a good go home section as well, isn't it? Like, crowd love Goldberg, so it'll be a good high to end the pay per view on.
Him and his kid stripping off. I do want to say before you go, and for anyone just like that wants more Goldberg greatness, there is Up Down Down, Xavier Woods' YouTube channel. Have you ever seen any of it?
No, I haven't. I haven't checked that out.
There's a video it's Sasha Banks and Xavier Woods, and they're opening I think it's like a loot crate or something similar sent from Crunchyroll. And Goldberg walks in halfway through the video, and he just hasn't got a clue what's going on. Xavier Woods and Sasha Banks are like freaking out, and they're like, Goldberg just looks at all this stuff that they've got on. It's like all anime clothing, and like they've got like all this anime and Dragon Ball Z, and Goldberg's just there like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, and he just looks so confused, and he just walks off. Like, he doesn't even say bye. He just walks out of frame, and they're like, oh my god, it's Goldberg, and it's like the most cringiest thing in the world, but it's just so great. It's like Goldberg just doesn't care.
Cool.
But they're like freaking out.
I'll link that below so people can check it
out. Yeah, I will find it for you and I will send it to you. But Goldberg on Up Down Down.
Cool.
It's gold.
Excellent. So obviously, given our predictions, do you guys agree with us, or do you have other theories? Obviously, it's big time leading up to WrestleMania, so definitely kind of let us know what you think in the comments below. Also check out Jamie's channel as well. I'll link that below.
Thank you very much.
And hopefully we can get a discussion going and people disagreeing with us or agreeing with us. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Everyone's going to tell us we're wrong.
Yeah, probably.
I hate you. I love Roman Reigns. He's not going to lose. He's not going to lose.
And obviously we've spoken about this is obviously the first kind of one we've done, but we hope to do a load more. Hopefully, if we can, weekly. And as I say, there'll be loads of kind of stuff we can talk about leading up to WrestleMania, and that's busy time for wrestling. So definitely, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe below and check out Jamie and keep in touch. Tell us what you think. You got anything to add to that, Jamie?
No, that's thank you for having me. I've enjoyed it. It's been fun. Hopefully the viewers are going to feel the same, and we're not going to get
struck off YouTube.
Inundated with hate comments. But yeah, thanks for having me. As I said, well, I don't know, we're probably really rambling on here, but make sure you leave your predictions down in the comments below because we want to know what you think about Fastlane.